Shine that light on me. I'll sit and tell
Yo, 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 yo. What it is, what it isn't. Folks, welcome back to another edition of Storytime with Swish. And, I throw out these rants every now and then. I've done a Costco one. I've done the sweat gate. And this time, well, it involves an airlines. But let me just set the stage for you right away here. So before we get started, yes, I am dressed in a Foot Locker referee jersey. Yes, I did have to beat up an employee to get this thing, to obtain it. He wouldn't sell it to me. He wouldn't give it to me. So you know what? I threw first, asked questions later. I ran out of there with a pair of drive-by ones, aka the Air Force One All Blacks, and this certified Foot Locker t-shirt, tarp, jersey, whatever you want to call it. It does not come with a name tag, but that's neither here nor there. So yes, I am dressed like I work in a mall. But anyways, getting back to the point, and what's most important right now is we're coming off a summertime little special, right? In the summer, if you're a fortunate guy or a female, you get to travel around a little bit. You get to see friends and family and spend time with loved ones. And that usually involves in getting in a plane, trains, or automobiles. One of the three, maybe all of the three, and making your way around the US, experiencing new things, seeing different people, seeing new walks of life. And that's exactly what I did this summer a couple of times. I was fortunate enough to, well, go on a baseball trip that I always do with the guys' side on the Schmaltz family. So it includes my brother, cousin, who is like a brother to me, uncles, grandpa, and myself. So we have done baseball trips where we go see all different MLB parks. We've done an East Coast swing where we work our way up from New York all the way to the chin of Boston, come back down, see Philadelphia, see Washington, see the bright lights of the East Coast, and baseball all over the country. We've done the West Coast swing where we do California, where we see San Diego. We've done Dodger Stadium. We've done San Francisco, we've done Anaheim, we've done all those parks. Obviously, me being in Arizona, I've seen that myself. So there's only a few left. And this leads me to this year's trip. Obviously, we've seen the Midwest parks, but this trip included what I like to call the armpit of America swing. So we flew into the chin of Believeland. That is Cleveland, Ohio, just a nice old steel town there. Great people sitting on the lake. They call it the Mistake by the Lake, but you know what? I think it gets a little less credit than maybe it deserves. I think the good people of Cleveland are awesome. I love Cleveland, Ohio. I love sitting at the Ritz bar having 10 martinis. I love Town Hall on a Thursday, aka Ladies Night. I love sitting and watching a Guardians game. Now, do I think it should still be the Indians? Absolutely, because that was one of the greatest baseball logos, if not greatest logos in all of sports. So that's a story for another day, but what I'm leading this into is we did the Armpit of America trip this year where we all fly into Cleveland. We watch a game there, spend a couple nights in Believeland. Then we loaded up the Bone Rattler, aka the Iron Lung. Did we get a Sprinter van? No, it was like a jail 10-seater that they take people from penitentiary to penitentiary. Now, was it perfect? No. That's why it's the Iron Lung. We call it the Bone Rattler because it literally rattles every bone in your body to the point where you get off that fucking thing and you can't even stand up. So we did Pittsburgh. We made our way to Cincinnati and up to Detroit. And, we had ourselves a goddamn time. But that is not besides the point at all. Okay. What I'm trying to tell you about now is Frontier Airlines. So I flew out of Phoenix Sky Harbor, and the only direct flight to Cleveland, Ohio was Frontier. Now, I've never been scared to roll up my sleeves and get in the paint and do it the hard way. You're talking to a guy that, you know what? I've played in the American League. I've played in the minors. I've done shit the hard way. I've eaten a soggy sub. I've traveled on a mega bus. No, I haven't. Have I been on a Greyhound? Well, something close to it. But I'm telling you right now, I'm not a pussy. I'll get on any way you want. And if I have to roll up my sleeves, get the lunch pail out, I'll grind it out the hard way. So I've flown Allegiant before. I haven't done Spirit, but I've been on Allegiant, which is a close redheaded stepchild to Spirit Airlines, at least of what I'm told. I've flown these lower budget airlines before, and this was my first time stepping onto a Frontier flight because that was the only direct bird into Cleveland from Phoenix. So I decided to grab my sack and, you know what, bite the bullet. How bad can Frontier be? Can it really be that bad? Is it, I know they don't have Wi-Fi on this thing, but you know what, I'll maybe grab a book or hopefully just purposely not sleep as much that night and get on the bird and hopefully fall asleep. At least try to, right? So my experience with Frontier Airlines was kind of went how it always goes for every walk of life. You get on there and it's not perfect, but you kind of work your way around it. So, and I didn't know that Frontier Airlines, they had this program where you sign up for like a $200 program at the start of the year, and you can basically fly anywhere you want and you just pay the taxes on the flight. So you don't actually have to sign up for every flight or pay for every flight. You just pay the taxes and the shipping and handling essentially. And I don't know what the going rate is, but it was pretty cheap. It was either $100 a month, $200 a month. I'm pretty sure at one point this summer they were offering it for $100 a month, which is crazy because that is cheaper than a megabus deal. That's cheaper than taking the Greyhound. That's cheaper than maybe even hitchhiking your way across America. So you get on a Frontier bird, and when they were lining up, I just didn't know that Frontier, when you get on the flight and you get on the plane, I didn't know the plane just had like subway poles. And if you wanted a seat, you had to bring your own lawn chair or fold up camping chair. I didn't know that. And they do provide duct tape for an additional fee of $4.95, but I didn't know that it was just seat yourself. Like you just kind of come as you are. You either have to stand up the whole flight or, you have to somehow get a camping chair through security. Now they do provide you duct tape, but you essentially just sit wherever you want and you just to duct tape it down and go from there. And good luck if you kind of roll back to the back of the bird and you hit the lavatory with some guy taking a shit in it, that's your own fault. You didn't have enough duct tape down. Or you have to grab the subway poles, like I said, at a very firm grip. Now, some people I did see, they did have pine tar on there because, again, you can't risk that grip. Little did I know, I would have brought my Franklin gloves if I knew this. So I get on this flight and it says I'm sitting in row 10. And all it was just a spray painted line where you're supposed to put your fold up chair or, again, grab a subway pole. But I was fortunate enough to spend the extra $10 and get general boarding number 2 because there is no first class or premier seating on a Frontier. It is a first come, first serve, you pay for what you get kind of ordeal. So I get on that plane and I'm one of the first people to board within the first group of 20. And I sit down and I grab the subway pole, and I wasn't fully prepared to come with my own lawn chair. So I'm fully prepared to stand for this whole flight. And I see people boarding on, and there's a lot of kids and a lot of ruckus, and it's a cheaper, more affordable way for families to fly. So I get on that bird and I'm patiently waiting, and I know I'm not going to have any Wi-Fi on this bird. So I download a couple podcasts. I do my prep work like a good veteran would with no Wi-Fi, just in case, I don't want to read a book, whatever it is. And I get bored playing, say, Minesweeper or some of these games you might play. So I sit down and I see people start filing in, and a guy walks in, the first guy walks in, and he has no shit, a microwave and a thing of ramen noodles. Now, how the hell did he get a microwave through security? And number 2, he was smart enough to bring the ramen. So you can use that hot pot of water that they bring around, and you put it in the microwave and you make ramen noodles. Obviously, you just plug it into an outlet and you have a goddamn microwave. So I was in awe. I had never thought about that. I mean, talk about saving a little money, but ramen noodles at 30,000 feet, those got to hit different. So I'm, still a little befuddled and kind of gathering my thoughts about a guy physically bringing a microwave on, not only with a microwave, but it did have a lawn chair with him as well. So it was a full camping vibe, if you will. And then, 20, 30 odd more people walk in, and oh my God, there's a guy with a 12-pack of frozen hot dogs and a George Foreman grill. Talk about taking it to another level. I mean, what an innovator. A George Foreman on there. I mean, he had that thing smoking right away. He sat down in 34C and I could smell those meat missiles from a mile away. Obviously, he brought, a little bit of ketchup and mustard that he picked up from the local Applebee's or Chili's right inside of Terminal B, right next to Gate 13A. But my God, a George Foreman? That is unbelievable. So I, start collecting my thoughts, and here's a guy with the ramen noodles, and now he has a microwave. And then this guy takes it one step further, and there's a George Foreman grill and, some hot dogs. I mean, this is literally turning into a camp out. It's a cookout, 30,000 feet above. So they keep filing people in, and another woman walks in, and, like I said, there was only subway poles, and she didn't have a seat for her young infant child. So she just stuffed her in the upper compartment, the luggage compartment, the overhead space. Put a baby right up there. Now, she did have a nice little, sealed and concealed like doggy bag, but, she just put her baby right up there in the overhead compartment. Another genius idea. Don't have to worry about the kid. They get some sleep up there. It's dark. It's cozy. You give them a little sliver of melatonin or something, and they're knocked out for the whole flight. And I'm thinking, my God, people on Frontier are literally some of the smartest, most creative people I have ever come across. This is crazy. Not only do we have a George Foreman grill, we have a guy with a microwave and a pack of ramen noodles. We have a baby in the overhead compartment stuffed in there like a goddamn gordita. I mean, it's doubled and triple layered to the point where even if we do hit turbulence, that baby will not enter concussion protocol. She is safely secured in that overhead compartment. And honestly, can I go up there and take a nap too? Now, unfortunately, I did not fit up there, but I did try to get there. Some guy actually had a little step stool and a couple phone books to kind of get me to try to get up there and get some shut eye. I ultimately just ended up just kind of doing a deep squat and, shut it down that way where I was just kind of sitting in between a lunge, a squat, and holding onto that pole because I could never truly get comfortable with the real estate I was given. But Frontier, man, I mean, they're onto something. Like the amount of stuff they let you bring on, they have this package deal now that you can do where you pay a couple $100 a month or a year, and it's like Cricket Wireless. You can use all the minutes. You can go anywhere with this thing. I couldn't believe my first experience on Frontier. Yes, we did get there safely. Yes, I'm not sure if it was a federal legalized plane we were on. I don't know if it met the requirements. I am not sure what the hell the whole thing was about. But you know what I did do? I walked away saying, if I ever have to fly back to Cleveland, Ohio from Phoenix, Arizona, you bet your ass I'm getting on that Frontier bird. Absolutely. And you know what? Fucking A, I'm bringing a George Foreman and I'm bringing chicken and we're making bacon, chicken, avocado sandwiches. I'm taking this thing to a Bobby Flay-like level. Fuck it. This was I've never seen a guy plug, let alone a microwave into the outlet, let alone a George Foreman. I couldn't believe it. I'm still in shock. All right, well, that's my rant for the people today. Frontier Airlines, some of the smartest individuals I've ever seen on there. Good on you, Frontier. Good on you.